Hey folks, welcome to Flothemes, and I want to take a few minutes and essentially talk to you about the process of how to import our demo content and what steps you need to take afterwards in order to structure everything properly and make sure that the process goes smoother. So before we get started, I want to show you a quick roadmap that I've just kind of drawn up for us. So we'll start off by importing our demo content. We'll then enable pretty links. We'll then clean up our pages, remove unnecessary ones, decide which pages we want to keep, which ones we want to delete, confirm our navigation menu, check our permalinks and page titles, and only then start adding in our content. So let's head on over to the back end of our site. Once you've imported or once you've actually activated our theme, you are taken to the following introduction page, where we have essentially just a quick intro into the overall theme backend, how it looks, and some of the options this includes. Now, the following interface is available for themes launched late 2016 and starting off at 2017 as well. Themes such as Crowd, Porto, etc. Any theme starting mid 2016 and earlier, they have a slightly different interface. So this area may be a little bit different for you. However, the process of essentially cleaning up your pages and permalinks, that remains the same. Alright, so those of you who are using a later version or a later interface, head on over to the Get Started area, and essentially we'll start off the process with this small questionnaire. Now we have several questions. Do you have existing content? Yes or no? Please note that it is not recommended that you import our demo content if you already have an existing WordPress site, if you have existing content and blog posts. The reason for this is because it'll simply be a huge mess with our demo content and your content that you have, and then you'll just have twice as much work to do. Alright, so for those of you who are starting off fresh and want to start the process by importing our demo content, the answer would be no, you do not have any existing content. And do you want to import our demo? Click on yes. Alright, so select the demo version that you want to import. This drop down may vary depending on which theme you have. So click on import dummy data and confirm. We'll then have the following circle load several times. Alright, now everything has been imported, and you can check this by simply going over to the home page, refreshing this, and you can see that we have all of our content, or the entire structure added. Now, as you can see, we do not have the images from our demo site. We have these flow theme image placeholders. Regardless, everything else remains the same. Next off, go over to Setup Generics and make sure that you enable Pretty Permalinks. This is basically the following permalink structure within your web browser. In other words, what this will do is change, let's say you have a blog within your website. So normally it would be your website.com/blog. That would be considered a pretty permalink. If the following option is disabled, it would be yourwebsite.com/ instead of blog, just a random page ID. So that's why for SEO purposes and just for the convenience of using your website, it's best to enable these pretty permalinks. Alright, next, if you have a Favicon, go ahead and upload that as well. Click on Setup Footer, and you can basically change out the footer or the website copyrights text within this area. Once everything has been finalized here, go ahead and click on Update to save your changes. Alright, so at this point, we need to start essentially cleaning up the website, choosing which pages we want and which pages we do not need. So what I'll do is just select this and scratch it off our to-do list. Alright, so clean up pages. I'm pretty sure that you've looked at our theme before, and that you've kind of already decided which pages you want to keep and which pages you want to remove. So let's just say out of the following 3 home pages, you want to stick with home page 2. Within the about pages, you like about 2. Within the blog pages, you like blog columns. And for the portfolio page, let's keep it portfolio columns as well, just to keep things a little bit simpler. Alright, and for contact page, you want to have contact 2 instead of contact 1. Alright, so what you need to do is head on over to the pages area, click on all pages, and start removing the pages that you do not require. So we will remove our main about page, as we are keeping about 2. We'll then remove blog cards, blog grid, blog list, contact page, we're keeping contact 2. We will remove also our main home page. We'll remove home 3, as we're keeping home 2. We will also remove portfolio cards. We'll keep portfolio columns, portfolio grid, and we will remove these 2 sample pages. Alright, so now go ahead and click on bulk actions, move to trash, and click on apply. There we go. Your next step is head on over to the trash area and remove pages from the trash if you are certain that you will not want to reuse these pages at any point. So click on select all pages, once again bulk actions, delete permanently, and click on apply. Alright, so all pages have cleared our trash bin. We'll go back to all pages now. So let's go ahead and refresh our site once again. There we go. So here we have our blog page, essentially because we deleted our main home page. Once we click on the logo, which is supposed to redirect us to the home page, by default WordPress assigns your blog page as your home. So at this point, what you want to do is assign a new home page to your website. And this is done by going over to settings, click on reading, then go over here, click on the following radio button where we have select a static page, and for the front page select home 2 and click on save changes. Now if we go back to our pages area and we refresh this page, you'll see that home 2 has front page right next to it. And now if we go over to the front end of our website, we'll click on our logo once again, and we are redirected to the home page that we were supposed to have initially. Alright, now we have the following drop downs, or the following menu to clean up. As you can see, we have home, then we have home 2 in a drop down, we have blog, blog columns, and so forth. So this entire section needs to be cleaned up. In order for that to happen, go on over to appearance and click on menus. Okay, and when you are in the following area, essentially you may have, once again depending on which theme you're using, you may have 2 different menus. You may have footer menu or sidebar, any other menu for that matter, and then you'll have your header and primary menu. So make sure that you select header primary menu, scroll down, and make sure that this checkbox is also selected. Alright, so click on save menu just for reassuring and reconfirming that this is your primary menu, and you can also change the title if that would be required, which at this point for this video it is not required. So next off, we want to change out our header and our navigation. So as you can see, we have our main home page slightly to the left, and then we have home 2 underneath and slightly to the right, which means that this is a sub page or sub item and a drop down to our main home tab. So in order to change that, simply click here and click on remove, and our home 2 will slide over to the side. The same process would apply to your blogs page. We do not require this, so remove that. You'll see blog columns slid over. For the post page, be sure to remove this page as well, as it is not required. This is just a demo page from our demo website. Portfolio page, you want to remove your gallery pages as well. Once again, these are just demo pages or demo layouts, so remove those. And also remove this portfolio page as well, since we're using portfolio columns. Also, contacts, this needs to be removed, and leave contact 2. For the following section, we'll just leave this as is at this point. Let's just drag and drop our About To right next to our home page. There we go. So at this point, we also need to change our navigation labels. So if we expand our Home To settings, here we have navigation label, and we'll just change this to Home. Same would apply to About To. This would be, let's say, About Us. And blog columns, this needs to be changed to blog or journal, whatever it may be. Same process would apply to portfolio columns and your contact page as well. Alright, so once the following adjustments have been done, go ahead and click on Save menu to make sure that all of the settings have been saved. Go over to your website, refresh the page once again, and you'll see that this area has changed accordingly. So now we just need to do some slight touch-ups. Like you can see, everything here is all caps. Same would apply to the pages area and the contact page as well. So that is changed once again simply by changing the following navigation labels. Alright, so just for the sake of this video, we'll skip that process. Alright, so now what we need to do is change out our permalinks. So let's take a quick look at About Us, or our main About page. You'll see that the following URL is our website.com/about-2. So that needs to be changed. We need to remove number 2 from the menu or from our URL field. The same would apply to our main blog page. We have blog-columns, and for portfolio page we have the exact same story. So all of that needs to be cleaned up. So we'll go over to our pages area. We'll open up About To, blog columns, contact 2, and our portfolio columns pages. Alright, so at this point, click on Edit and change this permalink. So this will be About, or it can be About-Us, depending on how you want your link structure to work. So I'll just keep it simple, stick to About, click on OK, and then also remove number 2 and click on Update, and just repeat the process for all of these pages as well. Remove the word columns from blog, click on Edit, remove columns from this area and remove that dash, click on OK, and click on Update. Alright, so at this point we've cleaned up our permalinks, so let's go ahead and close off all of our pages. And once again, for everything to take effect, essentially if you actually refresh, let's say, your portfolio columns page, you'll see that we have not found page because this link structure no longer exists. However, if we click on portfolio, you'll see that this permalink has changed to portfolio instead of portfolio-columns. Alright, so that's just one thing to keep in mind, or instead of refreshing, simply just click on the home page and everything, all of the changes will apply. Alright, so now that we've cleaned up all of our permalinks and page titles, essentially it's time for us to start adding in our content. So let's say for our home page, we want to change out the image slideshow and change out these Flothemes image placeholders and replace them with our blog content. Now, this is where I would normally recommend that we stop the following video and you start watching our other video tutorials that we have for creating slideshows and all of your other pages. However, one thing to keep in mind, just to kind of speed up the process, especially whenever you're creating slideshows, is head on over to Home To, or whichever is your home page, and if you're working with slideshows specifically, go over to the slideshow area and just make sure you know which slideshow you have, because if you head on over to this slideshow section to start replacing our images with your own, in many cases we may have more than one slideshow. So at least here you can see which slideshow is assigned to your home page, and as you can see, it's Home To. So this is essentially the section that we need to change. So go ahead, take home 3 and home slider and move these to trash just to avoid any potential confusion. And just leave home 2 of the slideshow that you will be using. Now click here and remove the following demo images or the image placeholders. Click on Add Slide, Upload Image, and drag and drop an image from your computer into this upload area. Click on Select, click on Update, and refresh our homepage. Alright, so now we have our slideshow replaced, and the same process would apply essentially to all of your blog posts, all of your content, and so forth. Head on over to your blog page and start adding in new blog posts. So go over to Posts, click on Add New. Let's say we'll add in our blog post title. We'll select our category, click on Set Featured Image, and apply our preview image. Click on Publish, go back to our blog page, refresh this, and voila, we have our next page or our next blog post. Alright, so this is the entire process of essentially how to work around the website once you've imported our demo content, how to clean up your permalinks, how to clean up your pages, and everything else. In terms of adding your content such as about, contact, portfolio, etc., now I do recommend that you start looking at our video tutorials that we've recorded for those pages specifically, because the processes will now vary depending on the theme that you're using, because we have simply different page templates and different processes for customizing those pages as well. So I do hope everything made sense in the following video. And yeah, thanks again for watching this video, and I'll see you guys around later.